I heard that Betty got pregnant.
That's great news. You're going to be an uncle. Your parents must be so happy.
I'm going to be an uncle. My parents are happy. But Betty's husband is a bit strange, so I'm still a little concerned.
Oh, right. I remember. Perhaps having a child will change him in a good way. I hope he will get a steady job.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing now, but the last time we talked, he said he quit his job to make it big. Then he didn't start anything. I heard that he had got a job, but I'm not sure if he's still employed.
I'm worried about Betty too. But as long as she's happy, we shouldn't interfere.
Betty's been brainwashed by him and started saying things that don't make sense. I hope she gets a grip on herself.
Married couples think alike over time, you know?
I heard that she wants to give birth in our house.
Oh, really? Then we have to make a room for her. Her old room is used as a storeroom now. We have to clean up. When is her due date? Is it after our moving date?
I'm not sure about her due date yet, but Betty and her husband want to come and stay here together.
Is her husband going to stay here too? That's unusual. Doesn't he have to work?
I don't know. They're not making any sense, and I'm very confused.
What do you mean? Are you ready to move out? We're going to live in that house. Hi, Betty. Congratulations on your pregnancy. I will support you all the way to giving birth to a healthy baby. But you're not seriously telling us to move out, are you? Why? We don't feel comfortable living with a couple who doesn't have a child. We can be ourselves around you. I'm sorry, but will you let us live alone? With just us family? We are your family, though. We've been living with your parents for 2 years now. That sounds like you're parasites. Parasites? You don't have children, do you? But you depend on my parents and live in their house. You two are such parasites. You're causing trouble to my parents. Will you stop being such a nuisance? I don't understand what you're saying, but you're wrong about us leeching off your parents. Both Robert and I work, and we support the family. But you have no children. You're germs. What? Germs? You're useless germs who can't have a baby. I feel bad for you, but I don't want to catch your virus. So, can you just move out? A virus? What are you talking about? What virus are you saying I have? A loser virus? You and Robert are like useless germs. What if my baby gets your virus? It'll be too late if something happens. Are you saying that because I don't have a child, I have a virus? I'm just telling you to move out because we're going to stay there to give birth. What's wrong with that? Brian says you should move out too. So we're right. Why is your husband staying here with you in the first place? He has to go to work, doesn't he? It seems unnecessary for him to stay here with you. What are you talking about? We're married. We have to always be together. He can find a new job. I hate to interfere, but is it okay for him to quit a job when you're having a baby? Shouldn't you have enough savings to raise a child? What do you know? You don't have a child. I'm pregnant. Who do you think you are? You know nothing about raising a child. I don't know much, but you don't know either. You haven't given birth yet. Giving birth and raising a child cost a lot of money. My sister has a child and teaches me those things, so I'm just worried about you. Who do you think you are? You think you're better than us. We're going to have a baby. We're obviously better than you. I'm not talking about who's better than the other. We're going to kick you out of the house. I can't give birth where parasites live. Just move out, Germ.
You're crossing the line here. Don't call us germs again. Just think thoroughly. We're willing to accept you if you're staying here to give birth. But we can't tolerate your insults and you're forcing us to move out.
We went to my parents' house today to throw out your stuff.
Excuse me?
We're moving in there soon. So I thought you'd already cleaned up the house. There were so many things that belonged to you, so I threw them all out.
You threw them out? Do you think you're allowed to do that? Didn't your parents stop you?
My parents don't know about it. I threw them all out for you, so get out.
You're serious about kicking us out?
You two are nothing but a nuisance. Just get lost. You're so annoying, you parasites. I don't feel comfortable giving birth where parasites with no children are. Get out, you losers. Don't give me your virus.
We'll take our family with us then.
What?
I can't tolerate being insulted like this anymore. You said you were moving in here in 2 weeks, right? Everyone in the family will move out by then.
Everyone in the family? What is that supposed to mean? Your family is only Robert. You don't have a child. You don't have a child. Get the flip out, you plague.
How could you say such a horrible thing? You've been telling me such awful things just because we don't have a child. You're planning to live here after giving birth, aren't you? You call us parasites, but aren't you the one who wants to leech off your parents?
If so, what? This is my parents' house. You have no right to lecture me. I'll do whatever I want, however I want. You two, just get out.
All of us will move out. Do whatever you want. I wish you a safe delivery.
What the hell is this?
What are you talking about? I won't answer your call. We're going to break off our relations with you.
I don't care about that. But will you explain to me? Why is the house empty? Are you out of your mind? There's no one in the house. And where are all the furniture and home appliances?
I explained to you the other day. I told you that everyone in the family would move out.
Weren't you talking about just you and Robert when you said everyone? Why did you take my parents too?
In fact, we built a mansion.
A mansion?
It looks like a mansion compared to the old house. It's a two-family house, and we were talking about living there with your parents. That's why Robert and I decided to build a bigger house.
What? You didn't tell me about it. Why didn't you tell me? I never thought that there would be no one in the house.
If you had been going to stay in the old house just to give birth, we would have invited you here. But you were looking down on us so rudely, and you threw out my stuff without my permission.
That's because you weren't prepared to move out.
We've been busy and would have packed our things when we were ready. We didn't move out because you kicked us out. Too bad for you. Too bad there was no one waiting for you in the house. Why didn't you live alone there with your husband? You're giving birth soon.
Good luck. Don't mess with me. We can't live in a house with no furniture or home appliances.
I don't know how you lived in your former house, but you can move the furniture and home appliances from there. I told you before that all of us were going to move out. You just misunderstood what I said.
You made me get the wrong idea. You loser, Germ.
Say whatever you want. We already moved out and are not going to tell you where we live. You are plotting to move into your parents' house and leech off them because you have no money. Sorry, it didn't work out.
How did you know about that? It's true. We don't have any money. But I thought Mom and Dad would help us.
You only think about yourself, don't you? Did you listen to what your mother told you?
What are you talking about?
Your father needs nursing care now.
What?
He can't work anymore and has no income. We lived with them to support them with the mortgage and living expenses. That's why we built a big house. We built the house big enough to make it barrier-free.
He needs a nursing care? I don't remember my mom telling me about it.
You only talk about yourself and push your opinions on her. You didn't care to listen to her. We've been having a more difficult time than you thought. You'll have to make your useless husband work hard from now on, and to raise your child.
Wait, seriously? Is Dad okay?
We won't be fooled if you pretend to care about your father now. We won't give you any money. Also, I'm telling you this because you didn't know. That house is still heavily financed.
What? Financed?
We couldn't do much preparing because of the mortgage. It's a very drafty house, but the mortgage is still really expensive. Work hard to pay it off.
We can't pay a mortgage. We made our escape from our former house because we couldn't pay the rent.
Wow. And you called us losers when you were in such a financial situation? It's laughable, actually.
I'm sorry, Emily. We're the one to blame. I will not insult you from now on and make my husband work. So please, let us live in your house.
I'm sorry, but we're not going to live with a man with a gambling addiction. Besides, you're not my family anymore. You should have listened to us sooner. Good luck with your delivery. Too bad you have no one to leech off.
After that, Betty stopped responding to Emily after the message. Betty and her husband were despaired to face reality. They couldn't afford the mortgage as they moved into the house without knowing it was financed. They were forced to move out before giving birth. Just for the sake of their child, Robert helped them with the expenses for the delivery and supported them to become independent. Betty's husband seems to have developed a sense of responsibility and started working multiple part-time jobs to make ends meet. Although their family broke off relations with them, it was a good thing Betty's husband has a sense of responsibility now. I only wish for their child's health and happiness.